So in the last lecture, we have studied about the applications of recombinant DNA technology and applications of genetic engineering, right? Can any one of you just revise? In yesterday's lecture, there was a certain issue with the connectivity. The meeting was getting disconnected every now and then. So whatever we started in the yesterday's lecture, we'll again see it today. We'll revise it and then we'll continue forward to our the next topic. Okay. So can any one of you just revise whatever we have covered up till now? Any one of you just revise in 5 minutes? And by the time all the students, they should write their name and roll numbers in the chat box so that I'll save your attendance. Yes, any one of you who can revise whatever we have studied up till now?
Good morning, ma'am.
Just the topics. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, anyone willing to revise? No? Okay, I'll revise whatever we have covered. Okay, so we have seen the applications of genetic engineering in the last lecture. We started with your unit 2. We have studied in detail the cloning vectors. We have seen what is the mechanism. Okay, then we have seen what is the mechanism of or the tools that are employed in recombinant DNA technology. We saw what is actually a recombinant DNA technology, and then we studied the different tools and how what are the principles. Then we saw about the enzymes that are used in recombinant DNA technology, like the enzymes we studied in detail, where DNA ligase, then restriction endonucleases. We have seen their types, their mechanism. Okay, then next the subtopic which was included is in your syllabus was the production of enzymes. No, sorry, not the production of enzymes, the production of hepatitis B vaccine, production of interferon, and production of human insulin by using recombinant DNA technology. Okay, so when we were discussing about the applications of recombinant DNA technology or applications of genetic engineering, at that time we have seen the different fields in which it is applied, and specifically we studied the applications related to the genetic engineering, related to the application of genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology in medicine. Okay, so today we will study specifically about how this recombinant DNA technology principles are utilized in the production of vaccines, interferons, and human insulin. And vaccine, specifically hepatitis B vaccine, is mentioned in your syllabus. Okay, so this was the revision of the unit 2 that we studied. Okay, that we started with. Okay, just wait a second, I'll start the slide share. Is the slide share visible to you?
No, ma'am.
Is it
Yes,
visible?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we have started with the recombinant vaccine. So yesterday also we have discussed that a vaccine, basically when you go for when you see the definition according to WHO, it is the vaccine, it is a biological preparation that improves the immunity to a particular disease. Now how this immunity is achieved, I yesterday explained you the mechanism. Like when you are injecting the causative organism, say suppose for a disease, let's take an example of hepatitis because that is included in your syllabus. So if the causative organism for hepatitis is either injected in as a form of a live microorganism or maybe a dead microorganism, agar wo live hai, to the virulence producing factor is removed. It is treated in such a manner that it is inactivated. It will not produce the disease when it is injected inside the body. So either the causative organism may be live attenuated, or it may be inactivated, or it may be killed microorganisms of the same causative organism that is causing that particular disease that is injected. And in response to this injected microorganism, okay, now the microorganism is inside the body, it will not produce that disease, but since due to its presence the immune system is getting activated, and when after the activation, or you can say the stimulation of the immune system, it is producing antibodies specific to kill that particular microorganism. Now what happens, this procedure it in turns gives you the immunity. Okay, antibodies, when they are created, it gives you an immunity against that disease. Now, whenever next time you are encountering that particular causative organism, suppose you are encountering the same causative organism, now you will not be affected by that microorganism, okay, which would otherwise cause hepatitis to you. Okay, so if you have taken the vaccine, it will not affect to you. It will have created an immunity because you have been vaccinated by that particular microorganism, and your body is now ready to fight against that microorganism. So this is the basic concept of a vaccine. Okay, so according to this definition, that it is an injection, a vaccine is an injection. According to WHO, vaccine is a biological preparation that improves the immunity to a particular disease. And one another definition is injection of a killed microbe in order to stimulate the immune system against the microbe, thereby preventing the disease. Okay, this I already explained you. Okay, this is a brief history. Will not go into details of this. The term vaccine, it was derived. It was first coined in the year 1796, okay, from the experiment of Edward Jenner, who used the term cowpox vaccine. He discovered. He was a pioneer of using cowpox vaccine to prevent smallpox infections. Okay. Now we will discussing also the types of vaccines. What are the different types of vaccines? This also we have discussed yesterday, but still I'm repeating this because my voice was many times getting break in between. Okay, so the different types of vaccines are live attenuated vaccines, as I explained, that though they are not killed, but they are attenuated or they are inactivated, you can say. Okay, then inactivated vaccines, subunit vaccines, toxoid vaccines, conjugated vaccines, DNA vaccines, and recombinant vector vaccines. Okay. Now, this you already have studied in your microbiology, right? You have studied this in detail in your microbiology subject. But today we are concerned only about recombinant vaccines. Okay, recombinant vaccines. Now, what is a recombinant vaccine? Recombinant vaccine, in this, the vaccine antigens, okay, may be produced by genetic engineering technology. Now, say this is just a one sentence. Okay, the vaccines, they are produced by the antigens. They are produced by vaccine antigens. Okay, and that means जो antigens responsible है to stimulate the immune system. Those vaccine antigens may be produced by genetic engineering technology. Now you have studied in detail what is genetic engineering, what are the tools that are employed. Genetic engineering हो रहा है मतलब क्या है? You have already learned in our previous lectures what is the concept, what is the mechanism, what are the steps that are to be followed in जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग. तो मैं जब बोल रही हूँ कि रिकॉम्बिनेंट वैक्सीन है, दैट मीन्स दिस इज अ वैक्सीन प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय सम और द अदर, बाय यूटिलाइजिंग सम और द अदर मेथड ऑफ जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग और रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी. ओके, सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इट हियर. दिस इज जस्ट वन सेंटेंस, पर इसका मीनिंग आपको वो पूरा रिकॉल होना चाहिए जो हमने अभी तक के पढ़ा. जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग क्या होता है, रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए टेक्नोलॉजी क्या होता है. ठीक है ना, हाउ दिस इज यूज्ड इन प्रोडक्शन ऑफ वैक्सीन्स, दैट विल सी. ओके, and also these products are also termed as recombinant vaccines, as I said, either genetically engineered vaccines or recombinant vaccines. Okay, so what is a recombinant vaccine? It is a vaccine antigen that may be produced by genetic engineering. Okay, now, regarding the brief history of how these recombinant vaccines evolved, it was some points I have highlighted here. The FDA, it licensed the Merck's Recombivax HB, and this was the first hepatitis B vaccine. First, you can say recombinant hepatitis B vaccine, which was produced by recombinant DNA methods in the year 1981. Okay, so it was Recombivax HB. It was the first hepatitis B vaccine, human vaccine, which was produced by recombinant DNA methods in the year 1981. Okay. Then in the year 1986, the research began how you can use this recombinant DNA technology for the benefit of mankind. So in the year 1986, research resulted in a second generation of genetically engineered, or you can say the recombinant hepatitis B vaccines. Okay. Here, the diagrammatically, the production of recombinant hepatitis B vaccine is explained here. I'll explain you this in detail in the next slides. Yeah. Now, first we'll just quickly revise what are the different types of recombinant vaccines now. Okay, we have seen the general types of vaccines in the previous slides. Now here it is the types of recombinant vaccines. Okay, the first is subunit vaccine. So what are subunit vaccines? These are the components of the pathogenic organisms, and basically the subunit vaccines, they include protein, peptides and DNA. Okay, so what are subunit vaccines? These are the components of the pathogenic organism, यानी कि जो उसका causative organism है. Pathogen किसको आप बोलते हो? Any microorganism that is causing a particular disease. Okay, that is a pathogen. So जो भी pathogenic organism है, whether it is a fungi or a virus or a bacteria, whatever. Okay, so whatever is the pathogenic subunit vaccines, these are the components of pathogenic organism, and they consist of proteins, peptides and DNA. Okay. The next type of recombinant vaccine is attenuated recombinant vaccine. What are these? These are genetically modified pathogenic organisms. See what you are doing, you are bringing about the genetic modification in the pathogen itself, and that is termed as attenuated recombinant vaccine. What are attenuated recombinant vaccines? These are genetically modified pathogenic organisms that are made non-pathogenic and are used as vaccines. I already explained you attenuated matlab you are removing the that virulence factor, if it is a virus, or that factor which is producing which is giving the capability to that microorganism to cause that disease. ठीक है, तो वो factor अगर हमने remove कर दिया, तो organism will be, the microorganism will be live, but now it will be inactivated, which is termed as non-pathogenic. That means it won't cause that disease, which would otherwise be troublesome if we are directly injecting these microorganisms. Okay, so attenuated recombinant vaccines, these are genetically modified pathogenic organism that are made non-pathogenic. Okay, and they are used as vaccines. Those are termed as attenuated recombinant vaccines. The next type of recombinant vaccine is a vector recombinant vaccine. These are genetically modified viral vectors that can be used as vaccines against certain pathogens. देखिए यहाँ पर subunit vaccine में क्या है? जो vaccine है, it is the component, or you can have a subunit of the pathogen. Attenuated recombinant vaccines में the complete microorganism is there, the pathogenic microorganism, and that is made non-pathogenic by bringing about genetic modifications in the microorganism. Whereas the vector recombinant vaccine, these are genetically modified viral vectors. Now these are viral vectors. Vectors आपने पढ़ा है detail में, ठीक है? We have seen what are the vectors used, यानी कि क्लोनिंग कैसे पॉसिबल है, what are the different types of vectors, bacteriophages, plasmids, all types of vectors we have seen. Now vector recombinant vaccine, these are genetically modified viral vectors that can be used as vaccines against certain pathogens. Okay, so this is vector recombinant vaccine. Now we'll see certain advantages and disadvantages of a subunit vaccine, subunit recombinant vaccine. Okay, so subunit recombinant vaccine, as I said, the components are proteins, peptides, and DNA of the pathogenic organism. Okay, that's why it is called as a subunit of the pathogenic organism. The advantage is that this vaccine include purity in their preparation, stability and safety for use of these vaccines. ठीक है, क्या इसके है purity, stability and safety. These are the advantages of a subunit recombinant vaccines. Whereas the disadvantage or the limitation include high cost factor and possible alteration in the native conformation. Possible alteration. Okay, but the main disadvantage is high cost factor that is involved in production of these subunit vaccines. Examples include hepatitis B, HSV, and BCG. Okay. The subunit vaccines, they can be again broadly grouped into two kinds. That is recombinant protein vaccines and DNA vaccines. Okay. So what are recombinant protein vaccines? This is based on the production of recombinant DNA, which is expressed to release the specific protein used in vaccine preparation. Okay. Whereas the DNA vaccines are those in which the gene encoding for the immunogenic protein is isolated and then used to produce the recombinant DNA. Okay. which gene is isolated in case of DNA vaccines? The gene which is encoding for that immunogenic protein. Immunogenic protein, that means the protein which is responsible to stimulate the immune which will bring about the immune response, which will start or stimulate the immune response, that is immunogenic. ठीक है, उसको बोलते हैं इम्यूनोजेनिक. अब इम्यूनोजेनिक प्रोटीन मतलब द प्रोटीन विच इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर bringing about or stimulating the immune response. So here in case of DNA vaccine, the gene which is encoding for that particular immunogenic protein is isolated, and then it is made recombinant. Okay, how to make a gene recombinant, we already have seen the steps in detail. Okay, so it is made recombinant, and then which acts as a vaccine to be injected into the individual. That is a DNA vaccine. Now we'll specifically talk about hepatitis B vaccine, which is included in your syllabus. This was all just an introduction to understand the concept of vaccine and the concept of recombinant vaccine. Okay, we'll start with the hepatitis B vaccine. As you all know very well, that hepatitis B is a widespread disease in humans, and it primarily affects liver, causing chronic hepatitis, cirrhosis, and liver cancer. Okay, this is the model of the virus which is causing hepatitis B, that is human hepatitis B virus. It is called as HBV. Okay, there's a lipid layer, there is a nucleotide protein, and then nucleic acids envelope. Okay, now in case of a recombinant vaccine, you can see here hepatitis B vaccine recombinant. You can also see the brand name also here. Okay, and the manufacturer is GSK. Okay, so hepatitis B vaccine, the gene which is encoding for hepatitis B surface antigen. Okay, that means hepatitis B vaccine हम यहाँ जो देख रहे हैं, it is an example of DNA vaccines where we are isolating a gene and we are making it recombinant. जो अभी हमने दो types देखे. ठीक है, so the gene which is encoding for the hepatitis B surface antigen, and it is always abbreviated as HBsAg. That means hepatitis B surface antigen. Okay, so for the first step in the manufacturing of a recombinant hepatitis B vaccine is to isolate a gene which is encoding hepatitis B surface antigen. Okay, the first step is to identify the gene which is encoding for hepatitis B surface antigen, and the next step will be isolation. Okay, so the gene which is encoding for HBsAg, that is hepatitis B surface antigen is identified, and then this vaccine as a subunit vaccine. See, hepatitis B vaccine is a subunit vaccine. That means it is a subunit of the pathogen itself. Okay, and it will consist of proteins, peptides, and DNA of the pathogenic organism. Okay, so the HBsAg vaccine as a subunit vaccine is produced by, okay, how it is produced is produced by HBsAg, that is hepatitis B surface antigen gene in yeast cells. ठीक है, आपने yeast artificial chromosomes, आपने सारे types of vectors पढ़े हैं. ठीक है, so yeast is used here, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and this hepatitis B surface antigen gene is grown in yeast cells. ठीक है, it is not grown, sorry, it is cloned. Okay, it is cloned in the yeast cells, and then they multiply, and you get a recombinant DNA. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation. This is the hepatitis B virus. ठीक है, जो हमने अभी पहले भी देखा है. So how to prepare a genetically engineered vaccine or a recombinant vaccine? See, this is the virus which is responsible for causing hepatitis B disease. This is the gene, the fragment of DNA, or you can say the specific gene that is encoding for hepatitis B surface antigen. What do you have to do? You have to isolate this gene. First you have to identify the gene which is coding for hepatitis B surface antigen, and then you have to isolate that particular DNA fragment which is containing that gene. Okay, so isolated surface antigen gene, as you can see here. Then the next step is insertion into an yeast. हमने ये पूरा mechanism जब हम vectors पढ़ रहे थे तब देखा. ठीक है, अभी ये जो DNA fragment है उसको insert कैसे करेंगे yeast cell में? By using the enzymes restriction endonuclease and DNA ligase. Both the enzymes are required, as well as और ये एंजाइम्स के लिए जो कोफैक्टर्स लगते हैं जैसे एटीपी, एडीपी, मैग्नीशियम आयंस, ठीक है, तो जो कोफैक्टर्स वो एंजाइम्स को लगते हैं वो, एंड इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ द फर्स्ट स्टेप विल बी restriction endonuclease enzyme action which will cut the DNA at that particular restriction site, and then ligation, ठीक है, no not ligation, then the insertion into the yeast cell and then ligation. Okay, so once inside the yeast cell, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, this gene which is responsible for encoding the hepatitis B surface antigen will be a part of this yeast cell DNA. Now when this yeast cell will grow and it will multiply, it will contain these recombinant DNA. ठीक है, ये जो आपको सर्कुलर डीएनए दिख रहा है, नाउ इट इज अ रिकॉम्बिनेंट वन बिकॉज यू हैव इंसर्टेड सम पार्ट ऑफ द पैथोजेनिक ऑर्गेनिज्म इनटू द ईस्ट सेल्स. ठीक है, so these cells when they grow, they multiply, they contain the recombinant DNAs. Okay, so these are termed as the modified yeast cells. Now once these recombinant DNA they start to multiply, now what is the specific function of this gene that we have isolated from the virus? To produce hepatitis B surface antigen. ठीक है, ये जो जीन हमने यहाँ से आइसोलेट किया उसका क्या फंक्शन था? टू प्रोड्यूस अ हेपेटाइट, टू प्रोड्यूस द एंटीजेंस व्हिच इज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर द डिजीज. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर these cells they produce hepatitis B surface antigen because now these yeast cells they contain a part of DNA which we have isolated from hepatitis B virus. ठीक है, now when they produce, you can see here, यहाँ पर ये जो diagrammatically दिखाया, this is the diagrammatic representation that something is produced there. So there it is hepatitis B surface antigen. Now the next step is maybe either lysis of the yeast cells or by any other mechanism we have to isolate the hepatitis B surface antigen, okay, that was produced by this recombinant DNA. And after isolating and purification, you get a pure form of hepatitis B surface antigen, and you call it as a vaccine for hepatitis B. Okay, so I hope you have understood this mechanism, the diagrammatic representation of how a hepatitis B vaccine is produced. Any difficulty in hepatitis B vaccine? Any difficulty? Okay, if the meeting
Hello.
end, okay, you have to join with the same link. Okay, as I always give you the instruction, I'm still repeating it once more. अगर meeting end होती है तो you have to join with the same link. Any difficulty in this? How hepatitis B recombinant vaccine is produced?
मैम एक सवाल था।
हाँ बोलिए.
मैम ये वैक्सीन का सक्सेस रेट क्या होगा? क्योंकि ज़्यादातर ऐसा होता है कि कहा जाता है हेपेटाइटिस बी का जो है मॉडर्न साइंस के पास इलाज नहीं है, क्योंकि इसका जो भी इलाज करते हैं वो कोई अलग तरीके से करते हैं, जैसे कि किसी कार पिला दिया। या इसका सक्सेस रेट है क्या मैम?
हाँ, इसका सक्सेस रेट है, क्योंकि अभी देखिए, अभी ये तो हम जो पढ़ रहे हैं, दिस इज जस्ट अ कन्वेंशनल वैक्सीन. अगर आप अभी जो न्यू बॉर्न्स का आप पूरा शेड्यूल देखो, उनका जो वैक्सीनेशन का पूरा चार्ट होता है, तो उसमें सिर्फ एक हेपेटाइटिस बी वैक्सीन नहीं है, उसमें टाइप 1 है, टाइप 2 है, फिर हेपेटाइटिस बी है, और उसके बहुत सारे ऐसे बूस्टर डोसेस है जो आप बोलते हो. तो इट इज क्वाइट इफेक्टिव. सी बेसिकली वैक्सीन का कंसेप्ट क्या होता है, मैं आपको बताती हूँ कि आप अगर बारिश आ रही है और आपको भीगने से बचना है तो आप सिर्फ छाता ले सकते हो, यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप द रेन. ठीक है, आप सिर्फ क्या कर सकते हो, यू कैन जस्ट होल्ड एन अम्ब्रेला सो दैट यू गेट प्रोटेक्टेड. आप बारिश को नहीं रोक सकते. तो वैसे ही आप जब वैक्सीन ले रहे हो तो आप सिर्फ एक पॉसिबिलिटी, एक चांस है दैट यू गेट प्रोटेक्टेड फ्रॉम द रेनफॉल. यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप द डिजीज, यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप द रेनफॉल. ठीक है, बट चांसेस क्या रहेंगे, एक ऐसा इंसान है जिसके पास अम्ब्रेला नहीं है और एक आप है जिसके पास अम्ब्रेला है, तो किसको ज्यादा चांसेस है, कौन ज्यादा प्रिवेंट हो सकेगा वो डिजीज से, जिसके पास अम्ब्रेला है. ठीक है, तो वैसा ही कुछ कंसेप्ट होता है वैक्सीनेशन का. ठीक है, आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि आपने वैक्सीन ले लिया तो दैट मींस यू आर 100% नाउ यू आर प्रोटेक्टेड फ्रॉम दैट डिजीज. नो, कोई सिर्फ हेपेटाइटिस बी वैक्सीन नहीं, कोई भी वैक्सीन का मैं बोलती हूँ ऐसे ही है. ठीक है,
ओके मैम.
Now these are the DNA vaccines. अभी ये आपके सिलेबस में इंक्लूड नहीं है, बट स्टिल विल क्विकली गो थ्रू दिस द DNA vaccines because मेरे हिसाब से रिकॉम्बिनेंट वैक्सीन्स में ये सारा कवर होना चाहिए, बट स्पेसिफिकली जो इन डिटेल आपके सिलेबस में लिखा हुआ है वो हेपेटाइटिस बी का है. ठीक है, So the DNA vaccines, the immune response of the body is stimulated by a DNA molecule. Okay, that's why it is called as a DNA vaccine. The DNA vaccine, in which the gene which is encoding an antigenic protein, okay, is inserted onto a plasmid. Now, what is a plasmid? Plasmid is a vector. Okay, we have studied how it is utilized as a vector in detail. Okay, so this is inserted into the plasmid, and then this plasmid is incorporated into the target animal cell or the of the host. Okay, then the antigenic proteins are developed due to this, and the humoral or cellular immunity is obtained. This is the mechanism for DNA vaccines. Will not go into details of this because this is not included in your syllabus. आपके सिलेबस में स्पेसिफिकली हेपेटाइटिस बी वैक्सीन है, इंटरफेरॉन और ह्यूमन इंसुलिन, ये तीन चीजों का देखना है हमको. ठीक है. These are certain advantages and limitations or disadvantages of DNA vaccines. Then attenuated recombinant vaccines. Okay, these are genetically engineer the organism and use them as live vaccines. जैसे कि आपको बोला मैंने, live attenuated, they are live but they are non pathogenic. Okay, they are deactivated so that not to produce any pathogenic, not to produce any disease. Okay, and the production is based on two types, that is detection of modification of virulence gene, जो मैं आपको जब से बोल रही हूँ कि एक virulence factor which is responsible for pathogenicity, and another method is to genetically manipulate the non-pathogenic organisms to carry and express the antigens that determines the pathogenic organisms. Okay, examples include Salmonella species, cholera and Leishmania. Okay, I'm not going to details of this. Then cholera का भी vaccine है. It is basically an intestinal disease, as you all know, and it is characterized by diarrhea, dehydration, abdominal pain, and fever. And the causative organism is Vibrio cholerae. Okay, and this is the vaccine. Okay, this recombinant vaccine, it is genetically engineered Vibrio cholerae. That means the pathogenic organism is genetically engineered, which is used as a good attenuated vaccine. Okay, and it consists of phenol killed Vibrio cholerae. That means we are killing, the method which is employed for killing is phenol. Okay, it is used as a generally it is used as a disinfectant, and it kills the Vibrio cholera microorganism. These are certain advantages and limitations. This is the mechanism. Will not go into details of this. Okay, these are vector recombinant vaccines. They can be genetically modified, and vaccinia virus is used here as a vector vaccine. This you have to remember, अगर आप याद रख सकते हो. ठीक है. Then the property of this vaccinia virus is that this vector has the possibility of vaccinating the individuals against different diseases simultaneously. Okay. And then certain advantages and limitations here of the vaccinia viruses. They are processed to release their DNA. Okay, then after isolating the DNA from the vaccinia viruses, the genes from hepatitis B virus, herpes simplex virus, आप देखिए ये जो पता नहीं आपने कभी देखा होगा, जो वैक्सीनेशन का जो बच्चों का पूरा चार्ट होता है उसमें ऐसा पूरा लिखा हुआ रहता है कि एक डोज में ये सारे डिजीजेस से आपको ये मिलेगी, इम्यूनिटी मिलेगी. तो that is basically when we are using a vaccinia virus as a vector. As I already told you that this vector has a capability of prevent from a single vaccination dose from many diseases simultaneously. Okay, so what it is done, the genes from hepatitis B virus, herpes simplex virus and influenza virus, they are inserted into vaccinia virus. Okay, now this act as a vector, and now the recombinant DNA is extracted from this. Okay, now it is injected, this recombinant DNA from the vaccinia virus is injected into E. coli, and then their number is increased when the E. coli cells, they replicate, they divide and replicate. Okay, and in turn you get plasmids as insertion vectors, which contain recombinant DNA, which will now protect you against hepatitis B virus, herpes simplex virus and influenza virus. Okay, plasmids are also used as insertion vectors. and this topic of recombinant vaccines, it is very nicely explained in सत्यनारायण. ठीक है, सत्यनारायण आप रेफर करो इसके लिए. ये भी डायग्राम उसी का है. ठीक है, how to get a recombinant vaccine. I have already explained you this. Okay, certain advantages and disadvantages. These are the examples of the recombinant vaccines: human adenovirus, capripox vaccine, fowlpox virus, vectored vaccines, then human adenovirus, okay, which is used as a vector to deliver hemagglutinin and nucleoproteins from swine influenza virus. Okay. Now these are the recent recombinant vaccines. That is the classical swine fever virus, CSFV, which is an example of a live attenuated vaccine. Then there are certain bacterial vaccines, jo BCG you might have heard. This is a very common vaccine given to the newborns. Okay, within the first week after birth. Okay, within 7 days of birth you have to give this. So it is Bacil, Calmette and Durin BCG vaccine. Listeria monocytogenesis there, Salmonella and Shigella vaccine vectors, flu vaccine for influenza viruses. These are the recent recombinant vaccine. It should be C here. Okay. These are the references. So any difficulty you have with this?
No, ma'am.
Anyone, any difficulty with recombinant vaccines? See, in your syllabus, the production of ह्यूमन इंसुलिन, इंटरफेरॉन एंड हेपेटाइटिस बी वैक्सीन इज गिवन. ठीक है, उसके बाद आपका जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है सिलेबस में वो है पीसीआर, दैट इज पॉलीमरेज चेन रिएक्शन. तो we have today's completed the hepatitis production of hepatitis recombinant hepatitis B vaccine, and I have tried to make you understand the concept of recombinant vaccine. Okay, I hope you have understood. Is there any difficulty? Every one of you have written
No,
their
ma'am.
name and roll number in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wait a second. I'll save your attendance. And if you are having any difficulty, you can ask. Someone is still writing. Okay, if anyone is remaining to write their name and roll numbers in the chat box, please do so. I'll wait for 2 minutes and then I'll save the attendance. कुछ डिफिकल्टी है आपको?
मैम ये कोरोना की वैक्सीन भी mRNA से ही बननी है ना, वो कोविशील्ड और कोवैक्सीन?
जी, जेनेटिकली इंजीनियर्ड या जीएमओस भी उसमें यूज किए, बट मैं आई एम नॉट इन अ पोजीशन टू टेल यू ईच एंड एवरी डिटेल ऑफ द COVID-19 वैक्सीन. ओके, because it is still in the research phase, I can say.
ओके.
और कुछ डिफिकल्टी किसी को?
Okay.
We'll start with the production of interferon and human insulin. Okay, इसमें कुछ डिफिकल्टी है आपको?
No, ma'am.
मैम अभी वापस से ज्वाइन करना है.
Just wait a second. अभी we'll do one thing. We'll start with the production of human insulin and interferon in the next lecture. ठीक है, आज नहीं लेते हो क्योंकि वो फिर कंप्लीट नहीं होगा. ठीक है,
जी मैम.
Okay.
we'll stop here and then we'll continue in the next lecture. If you're not having any difficulty, then we'll stop here and continue tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, then thank you so much and have a nice day.